Welcome back to the only Bitcoin trading analysis you're ever going to need. All right, guys, so we are still on the move up, the march up inside of our range. This is still the overall template we've been running off of. Eventually, this will break. I've told people, if it makes it all the way back up here correlation-wise in May, I expect this correlation to go away, actually. So this will become less and less effective, in my opinion, from this time out. But it has given us this low here that we were looking for, all right? So we've been looking for this to form this type of a low after an overall consolidation range here, which is something that I discussed all the way back in November, where I told you guys anyone that's calling this anything other than a reaccumulation range without all of the data really is just trading emotionally, and they've never traded a high time frame chart in their life. Maybe this is even their first cycle. So be careful who you're listening to. I heard quite a bit of stuff, and that's how I knew that the market was actually getting bad, because this is when everyone was saying you can't trade this, and you can't trade the chart, you have to trade the news, things like that, and that's just absolutely not true, guys. We are still in the range, though. We have done some things. If you guys recall, I've been giving you some levels. First and foremost, you guys know that $47,707 is that just all important level, comes in right here above our point of control and time point of control. So I'm going to get rid of this now. If we get back above this level, good. Live below this level, well, it's not so bad, but it's not great either. You need to be living back above this to really be hitting some of these bullish market structure targets, which for me do come in back above at $57,000. Now, you guys know that we've been looking at 41,274, or I guess we could say 41,300 in this case, but we'll go 41,274 because that was the level given, and 41,850. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this high time frame key level here, since we have the TPO point of control and the merged point of control at 47,350 and 47,900 respectively, getting things fairly well. This has been an area we've been looking for, not looking for anything crazy down here, guys. What did we say when we came down here? I said it's going to have to go sideways for a long time. Just like I said over here, it's going to have to go sideways for a long time. Those videos are still up. And what are we doing? We're going sideways for a long time, putting in the early signs that this wants to move higher, challenge into this region. And if it gets past this, 47.7 region, $48,000 if you wanted to round up, then yeah, we can look up to $57,000. I do think that you have to keep in mind that 52,217 right here is going to be absolutely crucial to the price. But I don't see it as, a stopping point. I see it as a pit stop before making the move into this $57,000 region, filling in that NPOC, that inefficiency in the market up here. And we have some really clear invalidations to the downside. I haven't had to make a video in a while because this has just been range bound. Take a look at our range real quick here before we get too far ahead of ourselves. This is your range. Same levels are still important, guys. 40.3K, 41,850, now super important. And if we go to the top of our range, you'll notice that the top value I gave you at $44,560.50 is now the high of our range as well. So everything is lining up just the way it should. That is the break level that we need to see broken above, and we can challenge into this level right here. This would be the area of the chart that I'd love to see regained if we're going to remain bullish. And for me, you guys know that I've been buying incrementally down in this region just in case. And as of right now, I'm continuing to buy into strength. Adding more and more position size as the move progresses and as it confirms through market structure flips that I'm going to be correct. So initial risk is on, and then from there we start adding in risk as we get confirmation of certain types of changes in behavior. Overall, the change of behavior I want to see is a flip of 44,560. Early signs are going to be this 41,850 level, though. And then you guys know that I gave you one key level, the Q4 low from last year at 41,274. If we go down to a 4-hour, you'll really see what I'm talking about here. This level is just absolutely respected in the low time frames. Now you can see how the high time frames are boiling over into the low time frame. So these high time frame levels, these areas that I'm giving you guys, they play so well because they do matter both in terms of range, rotations, acceptance, and then that will bleed into the low time frames as those times become more relevant. So again, by the end of March, we want to see 41,274 holding. in terms of time for the move up to this 48K level, which I do have a plan for that. I'll show that to you real quick. This was from the 16th. I had made this. I've seen it on the internet afterwards. I saw some people getting it actually a couple days after me, so they were pretty early. But the idea behind this was that we can come down to an 886 for C, and we'd come all the way back up here and take this local high right here, coming in right here, right around 48,005 or so. Take that liquidity, and then does that mean that it's going to be an absolute just melt from there on the way down? No, not necessarily. We did the same thing actually over in this range. We actually had a Gartley that came back and perfectly back tested the B leg. So that's what I would look for here if we are to put in a structure like this, and I call it the Crab-Bartley because this can turn into a crab. I had it coming into the end of the month. This was the initial time for it, sometime around the 28th. Is where I was looking for this to complete. So we all know that we are getting that now. If this comes up here and does see that rejection though, if we can take these highs, get that nice swing failure pattern, that would be ideal. What you want to see is us coming back testing the top of this range, this B leg right here, and holding support. And at the end of the day, the area that's going to matter the most is going to end up being probably this 41,850 level, in my opinion, something like this. You'd want to see this coming down and actually holding the support here. Well, this is telling us we can go much, much lower. But for me, I would still be looking at this as holding on to 44,560 in this region being the level I would want to see hold. That's still a $4,000 drop from the top of this pattern. It may just blow through this level. It very well could if we get there. We still haven't confirmed any market structure break to the upside just yet. We are still range bound technically. We're just thinking ahead in this case. To the downside, where are we wrong? Well, at this point, losing 40.3K does not look ideal. Anything under $40,000, and I think you got to be looking all the way back down to 38.2, down to 37.7, and that's really the line in the sand. This is an update from the 17th. These are the levels, okay? So we're looking up to 41,935, which we hit. And then if you're actually in the group, even in the free section, I did put this in there the day that we hit this target. And then it gives you the next box above us here at the March open and the 6M1 at 42,670. And so that was the areas of interest, and that is exactly where we've come into up here at the highs right here. I'll turn those on just real quick for you. That way you guys can see them. I believe. Oh, where did I hide those? Oh, there they are. I have too much stuff on this chart, guys. At some point, you guys are going to come in one day and I'm just going to have no folders anymore. I'll have done away with everything and I'll just be winging it, so to speak, and that's not ideal for anyone. But yeah, this is the area that we're butted up against right now. High time frame areas, this level we've had on our chart for quite some time. Looking down to 41,850, looking to see if we can hold this point of control. If we can't, 41,274 is on deck. We do have all through exo charts. Exo charts right here is going to show you that we have a single print at 41,762.50. Anything underneath that, if it finds acceptance, we would look for 41,210.50. How does our chart stack up? 41,850 is the level we have on the chart, so it's about a $100 difference. And then 41,274 is the low, 41,210. So it does line up really nicely at that point. So we have confirmation of a lot of different things there to say, well, if we start getting this move down, we know where we'd like to see hold. And then ultimately, I would really, really like to see us holding on to this level here at 40.3K at a minimum. Don't want to be losing that. It's also your anchored VWAP for the range. If you lose that, well, then we're probably targeting that 38.2 level down to 37.7 again. Anything underneath that, and I do think that this is just going to fake everyone out and maybe resolve to the downside. We have to look much lower at that point, or at least consider a re-challenge into these areas. That's something we can talk about if we get there. I don't think it's as relevant to the conversation right now given what's going on. So if we can resolve this range to the upside, still a big if, guys. We're butted up against resistance here, but you guys know that my timing for that was coming into the end of the month. So for me, still looking for that to play out. That is option one. Option two was actually much lower, just so you guys know. Option two had us going down to 26K. That implied we were going to lose 36,270 though on a closing basis, and we just did not. So that was an option that did not play out, and we stick with option one, which is to the upside, and that this was going to always be an area to look for buys. Even though this low doesn't give you the convincing data we needed, it is there and it is present, and market structure does not lie. You have to trade that. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Do me a favor, follow, like, comment, share to show your support. Also, link to the Discord is in the bio, and we always trade on Bybit, so feel free to use our partnership link and support the channel. All right, thanks, guys.